right, let's all be drunk assholes.
Look at
Yeah,
the
that
pretty
is.
lines.
Well, and it's
Oh.
red too, so I don't know what the heck that means. I don't know what the heck that means. I don't know if red is bad or if
We're
it's
all going
good.
to hell. Oh, that's,
Yeah, probably so. Welcome to Shit Happens When You Party Naked, very first episode.
Yay!
Appropriately enough, I've got my wife with me,
Hi.
Christina. Yeah, hi. Hi, Christina.
Hi.
I have my in-laws, Joanne and Earl.
Hi.
My beloved in-laws. And Earl and I are going to start this episode out by just figuring out how drunk we can get over the course of an hour podcast.
that's right. Halfway there.
Are you really halfway there already? I mean, it's good that we got a head start. It is
Well,
good.
it's
we
the
got a
Sam
head start.
Adams that always does it.
Sam Adams does it?
Yeah,
Thank
I
you,
should have
Sam
brought
Adams.
a couple of our brews.
We should have. Those are strong. This
Yeah, right.
podcast would only go 30 minutes if you brought those.
If you were lucky.
Jesus, yeah. Yeah, that's bad.
So, Chris, we got a minute. Tell us everything you know.
We got
Isn't there
more?
another part of that joke?
Yeah.
I thought you normally said something like, okay, that was 5 seconds, something like that. I don't know. Thought
Done
there was-
already, huh?
Yeah,
5
I thought there was
seconds?
a
Oh,
second.
yeah.
That's 5 seconds of your intelligence, and that's it.
I don't know.
And Mother, what would you like to say? No, nothing.
Maybe we should take turns telling jokes.
Oh, I'm terrible with jokes.
Really? Because you did the snarky shit with Christina. You tell us everything you know. You got 15 seconds.
Okay, that's my joke. I'm done.
That's your joke?
That's right.
Yeah, but you didn't tell it.
Yeah,
Good
that's
job, Dad.
it.
Good job, Dad. So I'm having a Hidden Cove Brewing Company. It's Wells, Maine.
Well,
Bucko's Hoppy Brown Ale. It's a hoppy brown ale.
Wells has a brewery.
Wells has a brewery. Everybody has a brewery now. There's breweries everywhere. These microbrews.
Yeah,
They're
they're all
springing
over.
up on every corner.
Yeah,
There's one in your basement now.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Which you guys need to pick your second beer.
We do. We do need to pick a second beer. I was thinking maybe even next weekend we cruise down there, get another kit, see what they got, grab another kit.
Yeah.
Good.
See what they got. You like that?
Yeah, it's really good.
It's a hoppy brown ale. So,
It has chocolate and citrus.
yeah, chocolate and citrus, yummy. Right? Good combo.
It's always deceiving
chocolate.
though, Mom.
I know.
Surprise to the world, Earl is drinking a Bud Light.
Oh yes, I have to
Earl
go
is
back to
drinking
my,
a Bud
right.
Light. Yeah.
To your roots.
You can't
Yeah.
stray too far.
No.
In fact, I'm not even sure we should talk about the Sam Adams you drank before that.
That's true. It could tarnish my reputation.
Somebody,
At Bud, at Anheuser.
yeah,
might
somebody at
call me.
Anheuser is gonna,
Gonna
they're
listen
gonna
to
hear
this.
this. Yeah, they're gonna hear
Yeah,
this.
they'll definitely listen to
Yeah.
this.
They're gonna think, shit,
Oh yeah, I know it. Yeah.
we're
yeah,
losing
yeah.
business now.
Our main guy.
They even got Earl drinking craft beer now.
Yeah, what happened to the New England market?
I saw the stock market was having some difficulties. Maybe that was why.
Anheuser-Busch.
Anheuser-Busch took a dip because Earl bought a Sam Adams instead.
Yep.
Nah, he's giving him so much damn money over the year. I don't.
I should start getting it for free myself.
You really honestly
There's no
should.
stocks in it.
I still think that you probably should buy stock in it because you'd be investing in yourself every time you buy
That's
a
right.
case.
And I have an excuse to get
Yeah.
them. That's right.
Yeah, and then maybe your dividends.
Yeah.
You could spend those on beer.
Yeah.
In fact, just say, look, I don't need any money.
Just
Just
pay
send me
a
beer.
That's right.
I thought it was a good idea to take all the beer, save all your beer cans for like a month, and then
think you should
build
do
a
that.
pyramid of beers taller than yourself that you could stand next to. We would photograph you, and then send that, put that on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, tag Anheuser-Busch in it, send it to them, email it to them, and they could see you standing next to this mountain of beer.
It would have to be in the summer because in the winter I really back off on what I drink.
No shit.
What
Yes,
does
I
that
do.
look? What does that
No
look like?
shit.
Yes, I do. I usually, like last night I had probably 8. That was Friday night.
I backed off.
No,
Last night.
No, wait a minute, that's Friday night. Now tonight I wasn't planning to drink.
That's not true.
Until-
Look at
until
that.
this-
Nice.
I wasn't planning to drink either, but I
Yeah,
thought,
yeah, no, yeah,
shit,
so-
you're here, I'm here. We
Yeah,
got beer in
so-
the fridge. Let's
So
turn the
these
mic
are,
on.
now there's no football tomorrow, so I won't be drinking tomorrow.
I mean, there's
I don't
Winter
think-
Olympics. You
Yeah,
could.
That's really hard to drink to, especially.
I don't know. There's.
Especially to curling. I mean, that's getting.
I was gonna
really-
say it's so boring you almost have to drink something. Like, look at these guys. They're.
Yeah, but these two analyze the
It was
game.
getting
We had to find
Interesting.
out why you do this and why you do that.
Yeah. So why do you brush it? You know,
To
why you
get,
do
get
the
rid of the buildup.
The buildup, and then it
Of the
creates
ice.
more moisture
Yeah.
on top of the ice.
Is that legit, or
And-
you guys just?
No, that's
No,
what
that's
the
what-
internet said.
Oh,
you know when the guy does
So-
with the brush.
It
Yeah.
must be true if the internet
must be
said
true.
it.
Oh, yeah,
Indeed.
definitely.
Yeah.
And so then, and if they brush it really fast, then the rock is going to go straighter, farther, and faster.
Yeah, yeah.
We could play. Me and Mom could
Yeah.
probably be on a team.
yeah.
now.
I think
Yeah.
maybe after that we
And
could
then we looked
engage
up
in
the
some
shoes.
competitive toothbrushing. That's pretty fun.
I don't
You know.
about that game. That
There's-
should not be in the Olympics, but
I
it's been there forever.
know.
It's
Yeah, it
been
is
in
one
the
of those
Olympics
things
for a
that's
long
kind
time.
of grandfathered in. I don't think the average person thinks Winter Olympics curling.
Well, I think
Yeah.
there is a strategy to it because
Yeah.
Oh no, there's definitely for the
Yeah.
positioning of the
Yeah.
rocks and all
Yeah.
that. Yes, but I mean they take it to the ultimate level. I mean they're eyeing the thing down. It's just I know they have to do that, but it just seems so. Then they slide it in slow motion. It's like, like a Chinese, you know. You know,
Like a Chinese.
yeah, like Chinese. You know, what do they call it? To where you get within yourself. You know,
Oh, like a
meditating?
chant
meditation.
almost.
You know, they
Yeah.
go, when they
Like,
go-
yeah.
When they do. It's not video.
Regrettably, it's not video because then
I
you'd see
kind of
her
was
with
wishing
the-
it
motion.
was.
Yeah,
You
he's
know, it's like a. See, that's what they do.
No, Mom, this is perfect.
oh,
See, you're
know.
dubbing down my creativity.
ah. I would hate to restrain your creativity.
Jeez.
Doing that thing with your arm 20 times.
Too funny.
Ice skating tonight, though, right?
Yeah, but one last
That's
comment on that.
exciting.
I saw one of them sweating, which
Really?
was
The other two.
indicative of
What, you had to run to the
They're
bathroom
working
or
out.
something?
Morbid obesity.
That's probably why. You had to run to the bathroom between rooms.
Yeah, it's weird to go from watching something like the skiing and the shooting, the biathlon, where these people like running, skiing, hearts pounding, then they got to shoot, and then an hour later you're watching people just,
Curling.
yeah, it's like they got a big old like iron that they're just
Yeah, yeah. And those rocks are
And
made
then
on one
really-
island in Scotland.
really.
In the granite, yeah.
In the granite.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
an island you
Yeah.
can see from Scotland.
You know more about curling than I thought.
we learned a lot today.
No, I was
Yeah.
watching them.
Oh,
Yeah,
And
they
it's
do.
a big island, and it's all granite, and they go out there and cut them out, and they polish them. And,
Yeah,
You were
it's
paying
really
attention.
pretty.
yeah.
that seems like the type of thing that they could just manufacture these days. Like,
Yeah,
know,
it's
back
got to
in
be
the
the
day.
right weight. It's got to be, you know,
Right density.
yeah, the density. You know, and that.
I don't think we can machine that.
No.
Probably could nowadays.
They would put that hermit that they got on the island out of work. He thought they would a hammer.
What, Luke
and a-
Skywalker on his little island.
Yeah.
So
you-
ice skating should be more fun than curling, though.
Oh, yeah.
I love watching.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
fine.
yeah.
Yeah,
Imagine that.
yeah, it's good. It's good, but
Is there a
the
butt?
Americans get a lot of, you know, raw deals. You know, I think sometimes the judges are. They've even did an article on it. The judges are pretty biased and stuff. You know?
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, they're pretty biased. If they don't like a country boy, you're not going to get nothing. You know?
Jeez.
Yeah, yeah. They did a investigation on the IOC and everything.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Obama.
Oh, we
It's
can't
just
get
an
into
ironic-
politics.
It's just an ironic thing to say, you know. It's not. I'm not actually blaming Obama. It's just a
Yeah,
funny thing.
yeah,
Thanks,
yeah.
Obama.
Yeah, do you see we're going to have a military parade in Washington, D.C.?
I heard about that. We might as well get into the current topics right now. But
The last one was when, what, Bush?
Bush, yeah, Bush Senior, the first Bush,
Yeah.
to celebrate winning the Gulf War. I read he had a military parade then, but Donald Trump wants to have one
We
now.
we haven't won anything, you know, so.
Yeah, I know. Should we kick someone's
Why
ass
not?
first?
One way.
Well, usually they do it at the end of a war.
Yeah,
We
so
haven't
it's
won anything.
like the last one they did, the George Bush Senior did was after the Gulf War. So that was like celebrate. I don't know. I guess you got to celebrate after you blow some shit up and kill some folks. Like, Like, hey, we blew some shit up and killed some folks, and you'd think that's enough celebrating right there, right? I got to shoot a machine gun at a brown dude in the desert, but now it's like, we got to celebrate at
but
home too.
That war wasn't even fair if you think about it. I mean, it was over in not even a couple of months. I mean,
Yeah.
because the technology was so old versus what the United States had there.
Well, in the original, we're talking original Gulf War.
Yeah, the original
We're talking
one.
about
In
early
90.
90s, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it was just like a shooting gallery. I mean,
Yeah.
it was just ridiculous, you know. But I was going to bring another point up.
Have another drink.
No, that'll be later. Yeah, he wants to have the parade to honor the military,
Yeah.
but that makes no.
It's probably for his base, pandering to the base
Yeah,
of
but that
people
doesn't
that.
really a parade. I don't know why that would. I mean, if you're in a parade, it's not honoring. It's a lot of work. It's just.
Well, I think it's also for the people watching. It's for the
Well,
people at
yeah.
home. Like, oh, they're putting on a military parade. We're proud of our military. We're proud of our soldiers and stuff. And so this is kind of like honoring that tradition. And,
well, then they should honor the Vietnam vets then.
Oh,
They never got.
Well, yes. I mean,
They
they're
got
really
booed.
trying to rectify that. I
Right,
mean,
right. Well, Dog Parade would be good for them.
Actually, I think that the last military parade that we were just talking about, they did something for the Vietnam vets.
Oh, okay.
No, there's been a lot that's been done for the vets. Especially the guys, the grunts, the guys that really took the hardest part of it.
Yeah.
And I just wish they'd do better. VA and
I
taking care
know.
of them. Agent Orange. These guys have PTSD. There's a lot of them on the streets. I think that's where a lot of money should go, and I don't think it'll be that much. I mean, not compared to what they spend nowadays overseas.
Yeah.
So that was a very. I met a Vietnam vet in Dr. O'Day's office. He had the hat on. He had a big vest and everything. And I asked him where he was. He goes at Benoit. And I said, "Well, gee, I was there. I was just talking to him for a second." And he says, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah." When I came back from Nam, I had to take my uniform off. I wouldn't go in public with it. He goes, "Yeah, me too." He goes, "I was getting tired of getting spit on and
Wow.
throwing rocks at and everything else." He goes,
Yeah, it's like Rocky.
So why, and
not
he
Rocky,
really
Rambo.
agreed with me. He says it's just ridiculous. That's
Shit, this is only my second beer.
only you gotta hurry up.
Oh.
Come on.
Rambo. That was the one. He came back and he was
That's
That's
right.
right.
Yeah.
They did.
persona non grata for having been involved with
Yeah.
And
Vietnam War.
I love that movie. I love the first Rambo. I really enjoyed that movie. I thought it was.
He did
Talking
nothing
movies
wrong.
would be way better than talking politics. Far less divisive.
Yeah, it's very true.
Or
Yeah.
divisive.
Divisive. No,
Divisive, divisive. Shit if I know.
Decisive.
Either way.
I don't
It
think
has
it's
to be
dis-
divisive.
I don't think it's decisive.
No,
No,
we're
that
talking
means
about
make it-
dividing.
I know.
Being something
Dividing.
being divisive is
Yeah, so I'm saying I don't think it's decisive.
no.
But I don't think it's.
I was just helping. I feel like you were going in between different options,
Yes.
and I was putting in my vote for I don't think it's that one.
Yes. Right.
You were just helping. Well, if you want to help,
No, I'll just shut the fuck up then. I'm just
I
kidding.
could get another one of these.
Sorry, Mom. Oh, she didn't hear that
Oh,
bomb.
did you say? Oh, I didn't hear you say that.
Well, she can get the beer.
Christina said fuck. On my podcast. I can't believe it. This is ridiculous.
You already have to go pee.
Earl already has to pee. We're like 5 minutes into this
5
bitch.
minutes in.
5 minutes in, and our entertainment is going pee.
I thought you told people to do the bathroom breaks before
I
we
know.
started.
You know, he must not have heard that.
Supposed to pause.
I'm not pausing shit. We're live. We're going live. We're just going to do it live.
It's probably his age.
Oh, it's all the time.
Tell us about it, Mom.
Yeah, tell us about the prostate. Let's talk about
Yeah.
that. Has he had a doctor examine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So is it
Painful.
benign prostatic hyperplasia? Let's just talk about all his PHI on an internet
Yeah.
radio show.
Yeah, it was painful.
Or like
A
getting
lot
a
of needles. I think it was 25 needles.
needle.
25 needles.
Yeah.
For I guess I'm not familiar with what they do.
I guess,
I don't know.
and you know,
Yeah, for the prostate.
for a recording, you kind of have to, like, you know, you can do the thing with your hands, but no one can see that, you know. So you kind of like,
Yeah, so it was 25
For those
needles
listening,
and
I
it's
just did the
frustrating.
OK
It's
symbol
very
with my left
painful.
hand and then took my right index finger and ran
Were
it through
they-
the OK symbol, kind of like I'm doing right now. You can hear the sound. You can imagine
Well,
what
he's
I'm
back. He
doing.
can tell you how painful that was.
We're talking
Yeah.
about your prostate.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
25
This is
needles,
riveting shit.
compression?
No, 12.
Oh, I thought it was
They did it
25.
like a clock. And what they do is 12 o'clock, 1, 2, 3. That's where they take the specimen or whatever it is.
Oh, they do like
so
a
they
biopsy.
know where it came from. And it was a biopsy. So that's
Yeah.
they
Did
know
they
where it
put
came
an
from.
X? Did they put an X where they did it?
Well, no, they mark.
X
this
marks
is
the
from
spot.
2 o'clock. That's from 1 o'clock. They look at the and look at it like a clock. So
Okay.
wherever they take it, the piece out, they
Oh, they
label
took a
it.
piece out?
Yeah, they clip it. Yeah.
That's
Oh.
wonderful.
And
I
that
thought it was
hurt
just a
after about the
needle.
third one.
Well, I thought it was just needles.
No, it's go in and
Do
After
they?
3
Oh,
o'clock.
they snip.
yeah, snip.
So like 4 o'clock to midnight hurt like a bitch.
Then I had to go to work. Was that a Monday? Yes, I went to work.
That'd be a good day to take a sick day.
Well, no, I went to work and I couldn't pee.
What?
You may have
Take
missed
him
my
a beer.
subtlety when I crushed the beer can right up next to the microphone.
Yeah.
So that the recording would capture me crushing the
I
beer
saw
can
you
as
do
it
that.
crinkled. And you were saying you were trying to be helpful a moment ago. I said, "Oh, if you want to be helpful," and then I crinkled my beer, but that what it might have been too subtle.
Chase it where
Yeah.
Roger-
Let's do something.
do you want?
The one
Would
down
you
below?
grab me one of the Baxter Brewing Company
Oh, yeah.
beers? I'll be having a Stowaway IPA. It's Baxter Brewing Company. It's delicious stuff.
I love the skull and crossbones.
I do too, and it's Stowaway IPA, so they have that whole pirate theme. And this is also craft brewed in Maine. Baxter's all over the place, but it's from Lewiston, Maine.
Lewiston.
Tell me a story about Lewiston, old man.
I don't know anything about Lewiston.
You don't know shit about Lewiston.
No, I thought we were talking about my prostate.
But look, there's only so much prostate
Well,
talk
now
I
wait a
can
minute. When
handle.
you get to the most important thing, they did all that. Then they send me to work after this was done.
You couldn't get like a day off for them
They
getting in
should
your
It has
ass.
nothing to do with it. She said, you can go to work. There's nothing. It's just a regular exam.
But they had to get in your ass, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just saying you ought to get a day off if they get in your
well,
ass.
even so,
I'm taking a day. Look,
E-
if
e-
Patty can hear me right now, I'm taking a day. If somebody's got to get in my ass for some kind of medical procedure,
That's
I'm taking
fine.
a day.
That's fine. But then you couldn't pee. I couldn't go to the bathroom.
So what they do, like catheter? Or
That's right.
ca-
They start, then they send me back to
was
work.
it a condom catheter or was it in the pee
No,
hole?
in the urethra, right up.
Ether or urethra. It's much easier to just say pee hole.
Beetle.
Pee hole.
Pee hole.
Pee hole.
But
Your dad just
the
said
nurse
pee hole.
the nurse just went in, had me lay down. She was, and then all
You were conscious for that going in the.
oh yeah, she just did it. And she taped the bag to my side and sent me
She
back to work.
she loaded your musket and sent you out the door.
Sent me to war.
Send you
I
to
love
war.
Joanne's face when I said, "Have you ever seen the old muzzle loaders? The muzzle loader. You got to drop the
yeah.
gunpowder in, and then you put the ball in, and then they take the stick,
Ramming
the
rod.
the ramming rod, and they ram everything down. That's loading the musket. So I mean, when they insert
Sure
the
did.
catheter,
And I left $5 for it. So
oh, stingy, only $5,
well,
huh?
yeah, what can I say? But then I had to take it out by myself.
Oh my goodness.
You had to take that shit out by
And you got a
yourself.
balloon in there.
Well, it's like no. What happens is they put it in, and then at the end, it's like a balloon, so it doesn't fall out. And so what you do is when they want to take it out, there's a hose. You open it up and it lets the air out of that balloon. Then it comes out.
Yeah, I mean, I was conscious when they took mine out. I was not conscious when they put it in. Thankfully, I have
You have foam.
I have foam in
Yeah,
my
but-
beard.
Yeah.
I got foam in my beard. That's cool. It's a flavor saver. It's good stuff. Save that beer for later. Let it ferment a little bit in my beard hair, and then, Christina enjoys kissing me.
Okay, enough of my medical.
Enough of your medical. Let's talk my medical. I had to have I had to get a waiver for this student health plan that they do at University of New Hampshire. They had a student health plan that they automatically opt you into for the tune of $1,140. No shit, right? I would automatically a bunch of kids whose parents are paying the shit or they got scholarships or taking out loans. They're not looking at the itemized the receipt. They'll just pay the shit.
But is that is that supposed to be student health insurance?
Yeah, and it's great. It's a great thing for the kids that don't have health insurance. They need health insurance. You get it through school.
That's for the whole year.
What about you?
I don't know if that's for the
That
semester of the
turns
year,
out to be
but
Oh, if that was a year,
If-
it's only $95 a month.
which is not bad if that's a year. I don't know for sure if it's a year or not. Irregardless, $1,140. I already got insurance. I don't need.
Right.
So I'm like, I got to get this shit waived. So I go down to the business center. I'm like, look, you guys, you got the charge on here. I read online that you guys will waive it, but I got to get it waived. I got insurance already. I'm not paying $1,140. I'm not going to get $1,140 worth of flu shots.
Right.
I'd get a flu shot and I'd be down to $1,100 still, and I'd be like, I still feel like y'all owe me for this money that I paid. So I told the guy in the business center, and I said, look, if I got to pay you the $1,140, someone's going to get in my ass. I'm gonna get so many rectal exams I'm gonna get $1,140 worth of rectal
Did
exam.
you really say that?
I did. And he thought it was shit funny. He was laughing his ass off. I was like, someone's gonna glove up, and I'm gonna make sure they don't enjoy it, because I'm gonna make that guy work. You're gonna work. That UNH doctor is gonna work for this $1,140. You're gonna work. You're gonna have to. I'm not flu shot. No, you can send a nurse in. That's easy. Some doctor is gonna glove up and get in my ass for $1,140. That's how that's gonna happen. It's just, it has to be that way.
But they took it off you?
They did take it off. So the good news is I saved $1,140, and no doctors are going to have to provide any rectal exams
They all
for me.
had a sigh of relief.
Hope
Everybody
so.
who knows them has a sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does
Why,
it
is
sur-
there some discourse between you two?
Does it surprise you that I would say such things at the business center for all to
It
hear?
doesn't at all.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't surprise me at all.
Actually, at the time, I thought I was being rather witty and clever. I was a little proud of myself for that. I
I'm
just
sure
came up
you
with it on
were.
the spot, you know.
That's amazing.
Well, the dude thought it was funny, so you know.
You two make a good couple.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
I think we do.
Yeah.
I think we do too.
Me and the guy at the business center, or me and Chrissy?
Well, that's up for you.
I'm talking about
That's
me and
for
the guy at the business
interpretations.
center.
That's for interpretation.
Because as long as he listens to me talk shit and laughs, that's fine. He can
That's
move in.
what I do.
Yeah.
That's true.
The same thing.
That's true. I've kept you
You two are
around.
interchangeable.
I've kept you around because actually I don't know. She's a little bit better looking than the dude at the business center.
Like
I mean,
a little or a lot.
I don't know. I don't want to denigrate him too much. I don't want to talk too much
pretty
shit about
good.
him. But yeah, I mean, I'd rather sleep in a bed with you than him. He's a big dude. You know what I mean? He was kind of a larger guy.
He'd be a lot to cuddle on.
Yeah. Like we were talking about boob sweat the other day, and I feel like that would be like a pretty like daily thing.
I've had a lot of boob sweat with this flu.
Really?
Yeah. It's been like
This is like a
Is this
fun
a
medical
medical term?
It's like a little medical round table. Like you talk
Yeah,
about
let's
your
talk
ass,
about
I talk
my
about my
ailment.
ass. You talk
Yeah.
about your boob sweat. I
And a
love
lot
the
of
boob
sweat
sweat.
in general.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you have the flu, you're hot.
Yeah.
You're not even have been. I mean, a few times you did have an elevated temperature. So look, the world is not blaming you for
But
the
it was
boob
only
sweat.
a day that I had the fever, and then after that, but I would wake up sweating. But then the boob sweat, so I started feeling better. And then that's when the boob sweat started happening, when I
Yeah.
started working and I'd get on a call or something, and I would just start sweating, and it would be
Oh my
especially under my
gosh.
boobs.
Working
then
so
I kept-
hard. Your
And then
tits sweat.
I would keep walking out in the kitchen like, boob sweat again.
Yeah.
And it was always in his shirt.
Yeah, she'd be wearing my clothes. God damn it.
Is it
God damn it.
stress?
No, I
No,
think
I
I
think
just
it's
was
just-
I was easily overheating or
Early
something.
menopause.
And you have to be careful because you could get yeast going there, active stuff. So you need to put something, if that can.
What do you mean? She needs to bathe?
No.
I mean, bathing is good, right? That
Right,
helps.
right.
You know,
Right.
application
You
of
put
soap to your
something.
areas.
Should I put Monistat under my
Something
boobs?
like that, not that, but there is a.
Jesus
prescription.
Christ, we're gonna get sick on the first
Are
episode.
you going to be able to hear her?
I think so. Yeah.
I hope not that comment.
I could always edit that shit out.
I'm just kidding. I have no
Hey, say
shame.
whatever you want. I'll just edit the shit
have no
out.
shame.
We'll correct it later on.
Well, but it's the
I'll just
boob
edit it
sweat
right
has
out.
stopped.
Oh, good.
So that was only.
Okay, just that.
I
the
appreciate the
sickness.
concern
Okay.
though. They're not that big.
Okay, because the couple there, she has.
Oh, boy.
No, she doesn't have that, but she actually gets a little bit of a rash.
Geez, I was really
Gotta get
afraid
this
this
stuff.
conversation was going to get uncomfortable. I was really kind of
Now
worried.
to the old people,
was gonna
older
get-
than us,
It's getting kind of weird. We're going to talk about
90-year-old
Yeah,
breasts.
yeah.
I've heard about that though for people like who are really, really obese. They get
Oh, in the folds.
In the
Oh,
folds.
yeah,
Oh,
we watched
God.
90
Yeah,
day.
it's terrible.
oh god,
90
in the
day,
folds, in
not
the
90
folds.
days.
600-pound life.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
and
I
they
have-
have.
There's
Puts-
people
I
listening
actually
to
have
this
to
that are
put-
just throwing up right now. In the folds,
Yeah, I have
in
to
the
put stuff.
fold. Like,
Oh, they'll actually open up a wound and it won't heal. It'll
Yeah.
stay open, and they have to really. It's just amazing what they go through.
Pretty
oh my god, this is terrible.
Yeah, that's very
This is
true.
horrible.
Yeah.
Oh my god, my first show and we're talking about folds on people in my 900-pound life and shit.
You know, where do you go from there?
Flip flaps and stuff.
You
I don't
fig-
know.
you figured
Maybe
they'd
we
get-
could do
they-
vaginal
they
secretions.
would
Someone
have a-
Google vaginal secretions. Maybe we can do that. and-
Well, you figure they start saying, "Gee, I'm at 350. There's a problem here," but some of these people 700-800 pounds. I mean, that's 3 people. I mean,
Yeah, and you got to love that there's always a few of them that are like, F it, I want to get that Guinness Book of World Records. Like, I'm going to
Yeah.
be the fattest MF
Yeah.
ever walked. I say walked, but I mean, that was ever like airlifted out of
crazy,
their
too.
house after
well,
the
they have to
wall.
take a
People
wall
don't
down for
even
one
walk.
guy.
Oh,
The
yeah.
wall to the
I'm sure they've
outside.
done that before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like I am gonna be the heaviest person ever loaded in the back of a flatbed truck because I cannot ride inside a vehicle like a normal human being. I love it. I love
God.
that. Honestly,
God.
I love that person who says, you know what? Fuck it. I like Hardee's. I like pizza. I like ordering shit, and I'm gonna be not. You know what? 800 pounds. Screw your 800 pounds. I'm gonna hit 900 next year.
Well, what's
gonna do it.
amazing is how much they have to eat
To maintain that.
just to maintain, like say they were like 700 pounds. How much calories just to maintain it?
Yeah, it's a lot.
And we see the other end of it because the doctor comes on and he goes, look, if you stay to my 1,200 pound or 1,200 calories a day or whatever it is, you can't do nothing but lose weight because your body requires 4, 5,
many
6,000 calories a day
Yeah.
to maintain this weight. So
Yeah.
if you just eat, a little bit less, you lose weight.
And they do.
Yeah, they lose weight.
Yeah. And what I think's sad though too with those folks, I'm sure they were obese as young kids. And when
Yeah.
you're a young kid, like a kid,
Yeah.
you don't even you're not thinking about it.
Right.
You don't realize there's an issue, and at that point, it's kind of like setting you up to fail. You
Yeah.
know,
Right.
because you're having the number of fat cells increase, and you feel blah blah blah. So it kind of sets them
and
up.
I think there's a lot of emotion involved.
Yeah.
Some of them are sexually
Oh yeah,
abused
yeah.
and-
Or
or
they're
whatever.
and at home, things aren't right at home either, and so this is their way
Food
of
comfort.
coping.
It's their
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've talked to so
Comfort
many
food,
people who, I've realized I'm an emotional eater. I was like, well, it's probably like.
I
most
should
of
mention at
us.
this point for anyone listening that my wife is a registered dietitian. She's got a master's in science and nutrition, and she's an RD. And so, one topic of interest for us is, of course, obesity-related disease, diabetes, etc. So,
And Jason is studying to be a dietitian.
yeah.
Let's just throw.
And
that
I wish
out
they'd
there.
both stay out of our cupboards when they come over to the house.
Well,
Because we no longer have anything decent to eat. It's
let's
just
talk about my
like,
4.0.
Yeah, everything
Let's
is
talk
like
about my
red
genius.
flagged. Yeah, let's talk about your 4.0 first.
Let's talk about my genius. Let's talk about the bullshit in your pantry.
My favorite thing was still, and I told so many people going through school, was when I was at mom and dad's house and I was having some wine. I think I was up by myself. I guess that's a whole nother issue that I was drinking wine by myself. And I went through their cupboards. Nice, Dad.
There we go. Yeah, that's where you blew out the speakers of the poor bastard listening to this shit. That the one bastard that's stuck with this conversation long enough to get to that point.
But so I went through their cupboards and I identified all of the foods with trans fat, and that's where we learned that growing up with Bisquick wasn't such a great idea because Bisquick was loaded with trans fat.
Yeah, who knew?
That's why we
Who
shouldn't be
knew?
eating that vegetable pie with Bisquick, huh?
I'll be honest with you guys.
Yeah.
We didn't know. Yeah. That's the whole point of
And
this.
that's what,
actually.
and now you'll see Bisquick has a heart healthy
Yes.
version, which does not have the trans
Yeah,
fat.
actually, they did remove the trans fat from
They did.
Bisquick,
Oh, they
but
did.
Yeah.
the thing
Well,
about
there's a Heart Healthy. It's in a blue
Yeah.
blue box.
I actually
have
think
that
they
one.
You've got
I
it.
think
That's
they
all
got
we
it out of the
should make that
regular.
go with then.
I think they did remove it from the regular
Well, then we
mix.
should
I don't
use
think
that
so.
fine
Yeah.
one.
We can double
Okay.
check. You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I mean,
You
look,
don't think what?
He thinks that they took it out of the yellow one.
I think
I
they
don't
took
think
it
they
out.
did.
I think
Out
they
of
did
both
take
of
the
them?
tray.
No.
Yeah, I
Look
think
when
they
we
took
go
it out.
home.
No, I think that. Why do you have both?
Yeah.
Yes. We forgot why we had the
It's when we say, screw Chrissy, we're having something good to eat.
We didn't. We really couldn't remember why we had it.
Those are the heart attack pancakes.
Yeah.
So I actually think it was kind of funny when they first started making a fuss about trans fat. It was in the early 2000s. I mean, it was like 02, 03 was the very first time that I found myself noticing packaging in the grocery store that said 0 trans fats. And I thought, wouldn't it be interesting if they just made that shit up just so you could say, hey, there's
That's
0
right.
trans fat in this, like. You know, like, hey, there's 0 cocaine in this beer that I'm drinking. Isn't that a wonderful?
That's right,
Don't you
yeah.
want to buy this beer now because there's no cocaine, there's no cockroaches, nobody jizzed in my beer. So I just thought, wouldn't that be funny if they just said like, hey, let's make up this shit, dog. Like we're gonna call it trans fat. We're gonna call this shit trans fat. And then we're gonna put it all over this Dorito because I noticed it on shit like Doritos bags. Like this shit ain't healthy for that's not good food for you. But like they could
No
put
trans
0
fats.
trans fats on the outside of a Doritos bag. Like oh shit, maybe I should buy these Doritos.
Well, they do it
now.
with the no gluten too. You know,
Yeah.
there's something that never had gluten in its life.
I know,
Yeah.
like milk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
it's
put that
gluten
on
free.
there. Yeah.
I love it too because it's like, oh, this shit's automatically healthy because it's gluten free. But you know what? Yeah, I'm pretty sure crack cocaine is gluten free.
Partially hydrogenated soybean and or cottonseed oil.
What are you talking about?
That's
The Bisquick.
Bisquick.
She's proving that I'm an asshole
So
on
it
my own
has.
podcast.
So it
She's-
has trans fat in it.
You making me
If
look
the
like an
only
asshole
thing-
on my own podcast.
I'm trying.
How you doing?
So if they did anything, they might have reduced the serving size. So then they could round down on the trans fat
Oh my
and make it look like 0.
But they have the heart healthy one, which is the trans
But they
fat.
have the heart healthy, which
Right.
the heart healthy should hypothetically not have any
Right, because we
hydrogenated
have that
oils.
one.
So Cliff's
We
Notes.
get a brownie point. Okay.
Yeah.
Cliff's Notes. Don't eat anything with partially hydrogenated oil in it. Obviously, that's first and foremost.
So that's in the ingredients.
Yeah, if you look at the
That's right,
ingredients
that's right,
list,
yeah,
you know, where they would list all the things that they put in there, you don't want to see partially hydrogenated anything oil in there. So it might be soybean, it might be cottonseed, I mean, whatever it is, whatever kind of oil. If it's a
Seed.
partially
Okay, so remember
hydrogenated,
that,
what about rapeseed?
hydrogenated.
Yeah, but no, wait a
I
minute.
feel
see,
like rapeseed is a very
I'm
interesting
not
oil.
going to remember that.
Rapeseed's a good oil.
Yeah.
That's
know.
Corn,
I probably
canola.
should write
I
that
know,
down.
but just the name rapeseed
It's
is
a terrible
little-
name.
I know, right? I
So
mean,
I'm looking at Bisquick Hard Smart, and there's no hydrogenated oils.
Oh, okay.
So then that's a good
All
one.
right.
So that's a
You can have that
regular
right.
corn oil is hydrogenated oil.
Partially hydrogenated. They can hydrogenate any oil.
how
and it's
badly
like
do
a
you guys want to
process.
talk about organic chemistry?
No, no, no.
Yeah.
Ah,
But they can hydrogenate any.
What?
This! No, my wine.
Oh
There's a
my
stink bug on it.
I just killed one of them in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, hey look. there's- Well, don't move it over to me.
Well, don't put it in the wine.
Holy shit, everybody!
There he is.
A stink bug just
Yeah, the stuff.
bombed this podcast,
Oh my
and
gosh.
Look,
You
he's
see it?
drunk.
he is drunk. He was in the wine. Now he's hobbling around like a mug. It does not have
Probably
anything to do with the
just
fact that I
flicked
just flicked him across the damn
It's
room.
like Chrissy at Old Orchard Beach.
Jeez, hey, listen, good job not screaming into the microphone on that one, though, guys. I'd like to congratulate
Mom was like,
both of you women.
I
What the
know.
heck? I thought it was
I actually thought,
spider.
I thought there was something crawling on her. I'm like looking at her face, like waiting to see this tarantula like crawling up across her friggin' head or something. But yeah, good job
man.
not shrieking into the microphone and breaking my eardrums because it's good. I mean, I know how you are with women or with insects.
With
and stuff.
women?
Yeah, women. I know how you women are with insects. Look, the whole point of this podcast was for me and Earl to get intoxicated
I know.
over the course of an hour.
Enjoy.
So if I start to slur a little bit,
That
it's
means you're being
because
successful.
yes, it's an indication of my success.
Yes.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I'm
you.
supportive.
Thank you. My wife agrees. We've got that on record. I actually am recording this. My wife
That's right.
just
So
agreed with me.
for posterity, I'd
For
keep
posterity, I'm going to prove it. You know what I mean? They're going to play this at my funeral.
This. That could be next week. You keep talking.
No shit, right?
I wish we had some Fireball.
Oh yeah. See, if we had gone to the liquor store, we could have gotten some vodka for Joanne. We could have got some Fireball for Christina. Actually, the liquor store's still open. It's only 6:15. So.
Wait a minute. No, they close at 6.
Pizza for supper?
No, they don't.
Pizza for supper. So Chinese and pizza in one day,
That's
huh?
what I
Yeah.
said.
And we're gonna sit here on this podcast talking like we're friggin'
Yeah.
dietitians.
Exactly.
Don't eat trans fat.
Don't eat trans fat. Hey, let's
but
order some
saturated
pizza.
fat.
Hey, let's get that.
MSG.
Hey, let's get that meat lovers. Yeah, get that
Yes,
extra
son.
sausage. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I love that shit. Yeah. I think the mic's actually picking that up, so that's
Okay.
good news. We're gonna get that pizza.
Oh, look at pretty
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, that's how.
Ooh, I like that.
That's how microphones work. I think the beer is definitely working on Earl, which is crazy because
we're
Bud
gonna-
Light. I mean,
We're gonna
Good.
just make him drink.
is that not?
That's what I got is Bud
I know.
Light. What?
I mean, there's
guys-
alcohol in that.
Do you
No.
guys want to see who could drink a beer faster?
Sure.
No, we don't need puking.
You want a shot?
That
of
might
beer
be
a minute?
interesting for the show, though.
A
let's
shot of
be
beer
real.
a minute.
Shot of beer a minute.
No,
Oh yeah, he used to do that. Okay,
One beer.
for the sake of the recording, for the sake of the podcast, tell us this one shot of beer per minute story. Like this is one of your old. This is the old.
This is when I was first.
This is what you
started
guys did in
drinking.
Hawaii and shit.
So
when
we're-
you,
No,
Were
it
you
wasn't
like
Hawaii.
10?
It was Wyoming.
Were you 10? You
10.
said you first started drinking.
No, stop it.
actually, that is a very interesting question, Christina. How old
you,
were you
Jason.
when you had your first
What was
drink?
your first? Yeah.
How old were you? What
first
was your
drink?
age? And what
16.
was your drink? 16. You
16.
waited a long time. You didn't like nip off your dad's
No.
beer when you were
My
12?
father didn't drink.
Oh, Jesus. Your dad didn't drink.
No.
Well, he
What the
did.
fuck happened to
Well, he
you?
did.
What the hell?
Yeah, but no, wait a minute.
Your
He
father
was,
didn't drink.
No, wait a minute. He was
Your
an
father-
alcoholic till he was 59. In 1959.
1959.
And he had a heart attack.
Massive.
And he used to smoke 2 to 3 packs a day. And he was in the hospital.
Smoking is bad.
and-
We're going to eat Chinese and pizza in one day, everybody, but
And we're gonna have a
smoking is
cigar.
bad, okay?
Right, yeah.
All right.
And the doctor came into his room and said, if you continue to smoke and drink, he goes, I'm not going to take care of you anymore.
Ooh, he was about to get fired by his doc.
Blue
No,
balled.
no, yeah,
Well, that was it. He was gonna
Blackball.
die.
That's blackball.
Blackball.
Blue ball is something else entirely. Blue ball. I'm not even sure I want to discuss it with your parents right here. You know what I'm saying, honey? I feel like wow, this podcast got really uncomfortable. I was not
Pretty
expecting.
racy.
Okay, so anyways, so he blackballed them.
Well, yeah, no, he
Blackballed,
said
yes,
if you don't
blackballed.
stop.
Yeah.
And so he stopped that
So he
day.
stopped. He stopped. But
that
you
day.
never.
Became
So
a
you never
grumpy
nipped
old
off
man,
his
almost.
He didn't have
beers.
any. He used to brew his own at his house.
No shit.
He used to live in a 3-decker, and he kept all his beer in the closet after he bottled it, and I guess he did something wrong,
We
and
should,
they all blew up, and they all went down all 3 floors.
You told me about this. We should name one of our beers after him.
Sure.
Do one for him and name it
Sure.
after him, and just say
Patrick.
this is.
Well, PJ's named after him.
Yeah. Okay,
And
that'd be
Patrick.
interesting.
Grandfathers.
He was in OSS in World War II. He was a chef, very good cook.
Yeah,
Very
no
good
kidding.
cook. Excellent cook.
You told me about some of the stuff he made. So you had your first drink at 16. Just to.
No, that was. In fact, I worked
Get
at
back
Esso.
around.
I worked at a gas station. There was a kid that worked. He was over 21, and he used to. We used to come at night. We'd work at night. Then we'd have subs, and so he brought in a 6-pack of beer, and I had a beer. That was my first beer.
What
So that
kind
was a
of
beer
was it?
at
It must
16.
have been Budweiser.
And oh god,
Must
it had to
have
be
been.
Had to be.
Budweiser.
Must have been.
And you've only had 400,000 of the goddamn things in
Bud.
between. In the meantime, you know, had to be Bud. Had to be Bud. Oh yeah, had to
Yeah.
be Bud.
Well, when
Shit.
I was stationed in Wyoming, I was only 19, and back then Massachusetts license was a data card. It was cardboard. That was your license,
Your driver's license?
driver's license. So I took a razor, and I scraped off the 9, which was my birthday,
Yeah,
and I punched in a 7.
You made
type
a
it,
fake?
type it.
he made a Your dad made a.
And it's
damn
right in
fake.
right in the orderly room of the barracks on base.
Yeah.
Then I went downtown, and if you had a valid license from any other state, Wyoming would give you one of their licenses, which was embossed. What do you call it? Plastic enclosed, had your picture on it, very official. And so that's what I used to use when I used to come home to go drinking. And when I drank out there, it was so I didn't know the brands of beer, so I would automatically say, "Give me a Bud," and so that's why I always drank Bud. It was easy to say.
Because it was easy to say.
Well, I didn't know
It's
beers.
it's easy to slur.
Yeah, but I didn't know any of the beers back then.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't. You go into a bar, you're nervous anyhow. You're saying, the bartender, "What do you want? Give me a Bud." And so they never questioned me. I used to come home and use that ID and buy beer in the liquor store.
Wow.
Wow.
It was very legitimate.
And so you were 17?
No. When I was in the military, I was 19.
19.
So, but you did have your first beer at 16. We've
16.
established this.
Then
it
I
was
didn't drink much
probably
after that.
Bud, and you loved it. It was like love at first
That's right.
taste.
Then
or-
when I turned 18, we drove to New York, Albany, New York, and bought a 6-pack because in New York it's 18 to drink. It used to be. I don't
Hold
think
on.
it is.
You drove to Albany from where?
From here, Lynn, Mass.
Okay, but Albany, New York. You drove.
From Lynn,
Okay, I got that. I got that part. But how many hours is that?
that's 4 hours.
Bro, drove 4 hours for booze. I would
6-pack.
rather rob a 7-Eleven at gunpoint. I would rather bust in there with a shotgun and be like,
No.
"Give me a damn Bud," and, you know.
If that was Chick-fil-A, you wouldn't.
That's
Oh
right.
well, look,
yeah.
Chick-fil-A is something totally different. Look, hey, look, you can't get Chick-fil-A at 7-Eleven. If you could, I would work at a 7-Eleven. You got I got my priorities, right? Bud Light is everywhere. It grows on fucking trees, but Chick-fil-A, no, it's good stuff.
You know
It's
what
good
my
stuff.
first drink was?
Where?
It was a Bud Light.
How do you guys even remember this shit?
I don't even know how old I was. Maybe I was like 16.
You didn't get it from me.
I did. I got it from our house. I know.
Really?
I did.
Fessing on yourself.
I
Oh,
am.
my goodness.
So I took it and I went a quarter around the block, and you know where like the cemetery is.
Right.
I like went over there, and I drank it
With who?
myself.
Oh, by
You've been
yourself?
drinking solo since
Yeah.
day one.
But then that was I didn't drink after that.
Why'd you go by yourself?
I just wanted to try the beer.
You didn't want to
I
go with her,
smoked
huh?
pot.
yeah.
So
So I
Yeah.
think, I used to nip off my dad's beers. When my dad drank, of course, my dad quit drinking, I don't know, God, 20, maybe not 20, well, maybe 20 years ago. My dad quit drinking a long time ago, but it's been good for his health. I think it's been very good for him to not drink. But, when he did drink, I would take, small sips off his beer. And he was okay with it. He was like, all right, whatever, My son's 9, he's going to develop a taste for beer, and I sure did. So
Mine was
I don't
rum.
remember my first actual
yours
drink.
was rum and
was.
coke.
Rum and Coke, yeah. More rum than Coke.
How old were you?
More rum than
Coke. Bullshit, Joanne. It's like 9 ounces of
Oh,
Coke
yeah,
and like
I
a
got
half
sick on
ounce.
That one, that was like, oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, to be young and dumb again. And
Maybe 15, 16.
it's better to be
look at
young and
that.
dumb than old and dumb. 15 or 16. Yeah, that's a
Probably
good
closer
age to get sick.
16, I'd say, yeah.
I remember getting sick one time off vodka when I was 16. It was
Ugh.
gross. When you're that young and you have a few drinks and 5 minutes goes by and you're not feeling anything, you're like, shit, maybe I didn't have enough. I should drink a little bit more. And then 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes later, you polished off half a bottle, then it starts to hit you and you're like, oh, fuck. I'm screwed. And then you're puking your guts up an hour later.
That's
and
what happens with Fireball. It's always a sleeper.
Let's talk about Fireball.
And then it's
a
like,
little bit.
bam,
Bam.
bam, then I'm drunk.
It's like I drink a drink and then I look up and I'm shitty. What happened?
Yeah, like 8 drinks
Yeah.
later.
How does that
It
happen?
makes wonderful decorations.
It does make
Fireball
excellent
does make wonderful
decoration.
decorations.
does.
We did
You can
decorate.
come up with a list of like the wonderful uses of Fireball.
I would say
bottles.
besides just putting it in your face and getting drunk,
But then
the bottles
the
they
bottle
become.
keeps giving.
It
Let me
looks
tell you, the
wonderful on a
bottles-
treadmill.
It does look good on
They
a treadmill.
do. They do.
Yeah.
I think they make great Christmas ornaments.
Yes.
Karen,
Yes.
if you're listening to this, Karen,
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick that shit in your tree again this year, Karen.
Along with the Jack Daniels.
Along with Jack
bottle.
Daniels. Well, if
Yeah.
someone's drinking Jack, we'll put the Jack bottle in there too. I think it made, but the decoration that I made you with the lights, I stuck
that
Christmas
was
lights
pretty.
inside.
Yeah.
I got a glass Fireball bottle. We polished it off first. We drank all the Fireball. I rinsed it out, and
I
then I
didn't
took
want
those.
to.
They were those really
I
thin.
want to finish the
They were
Fireball.
really thin Christmas lights on this
No.
filament that's almost like aluminum. It would take whatever shape. You could bend it and mold it, and it would take. So I just fed that into the bottle, and it kind of contoured to the inside of the bottle. And then I screwed the cap back on, and then you hit the button, and it lights up. And it's this nice red color, which is great. I mean, I'll turn it on the other night when we were getting in bed. I said, you know what? I want to relax a little bit. Let me turn on this Fireball light. I like it. It's good. You know, I worked hard on this fucking thing. We're gonna turn it on.
No, we worked hard. We drank it.
Yeah, that was the
hard.
fun part, though.
And then also one of my friends at work, she bedazzled a Fireball
yeah.
bottle. So it's a
We have a
decanter.
It's bejeweled Fireball
it's-
decanter.
yes,
Yes,
yeah,
it is
it's
classy.
nice. I'll show you
I
one.
should post that shit to Instagram so other people can appreciate my
she did it by
bejeweled.
hand. You know, that was
That's some
impressive.
that's some
Oh,
that's some
I'd like to
Elvis
see
shit
that.
right
Yeah.
there. There's like rhinestones on my Fireball bottle and shit.
Yeah. And then also I saw a meme where the elf on a meme.
A meme?
What did I say?
You said a meme?
What'd you say?
I repeated you. I
Okay.
Just,
We were saying two different things.
no, we were saying the exact same
Okay.
thing.
So there was a meme with the elf on the shelf,
Yeah.
and they were peeing into
He
a
was
little
filling the Fireball
He was
bottles.
filling
That's
the
where
Fireball.
Sorry,
implying
I
that
think
that's
the
where
elves
Fireball
are-
comes
I
from.
don't like the elves.
Yeah.
I think they're stupid.
Wait,
Anyway.
specifically the elf on the shelf or every elf?
Yeah. Every elf on the shelf. It's
Okay,
No.
but it's just elf on the shelf. So, like, for instance, the Will Ferrell film, you like,
Oh, that's
you
fine.
like
No,
elf,
I'm talking about the little
and the elves in
that
the
everybody uses, for he does all these stupid things.
Santa
But
Claus.
do you
Yeah.
know I didn't know there was an underlying like but there's a reason why there's a story behind the elf on the shelf.
Yeah, there's some
you
I
know
dipshit
what-
story.
I read the box.
So you know the story,
I
like
think it's stupid.
so like the elf on the shelf is like is coming from the North Pole and watching over the kids, and then if the kids do something wrong, the elf on the shelf is reporting back to Santa. And
No, he's not. He's the one that's doing the wrong stuff.
No,
No, the elf on the shelf, he's a
is the
snitch.
reporter.
He's a snitch. He's a snitch
The
bastard.
things that Angela
He's a
tells, the
frickin'
elf does
snitch.
something, and they said, "Oh, look what he did."
No, he rats your ass out. He watches
ratchets you out.
He rats your ass out to Santa Claus is bullshit.
Yeah.
If they had that shit when I was a kid, I would have shivved that freaking elf. I mean, you fucking rat on
I
me,
didn't know that. I was on a
motherfucker,
conference
you.
call with my boss and one of the
Rat me
managers,
out.
and they were talking about the elf on the shelf, and I was like, I don't get it, and they told me, and they said that it actually turns into a really stressful parental task because you have to
Yeah,
remember to
to
move
move
it
it.
because it's spying on the kids
I thought
to
it was
watch
him
what it's
doing it.
doing.
Okay.
No, to watch
No,
what the
he's
kids are
not
doing.
mischievous himself, but sometimes you see the pictures
Yeah.
online, like the meme you were talking about, where it becomes humorous to imagine what kind of shenanigans the elf gets up to
Yeah, for the
while you're
parents.
not looking. You know, when the kids are asleep, what's the elf going to do? He's going to get shit-faced. He's going to piss in Fireball bottles. That's where Fireball comes from, out of the elf's dick. You know,
So
Where'd
then-
you go
so-
with that?
so
How the
then-
hell did you get that?
there's a picture of the elf urinating into a Fireball bottle, implying that Fireball comes from the elf on the shelf. Like, the elf on the shelf gets
I would
drunk and then
stop thinking
pisses.
that
And
right now.
why would you? That makes it better. I'm like, shit, I want to buy a bottle of that. That's good marketing. If I was with Fireball, if I was with the company that owned Fireball and I saw that shit, I would give the person money who made it, and then I would say, look, we're going to use this from here on out. At
Well-
Christmas time, this is going to be our
Well,
Or ad.
I think it's giving the elf a bad name. Now he's becoming a snitch. That's not.
No, he was a snitch to begin with. That's his whole deal. He was
No, the elf
invented as
used
a
to make
snitch.
Toys.
Well, no. But traditionally, elves used to be Santa's helpers. They would
Right.
make toys.
Right.
But when they invented this elf, whoever the fuck invented this elf on the
That's
shelf
right,
thing,
and I think that's
they
that's-
invented this elf to be a snitch.
Yeah, and I think.
And it was an
I-
explanation of
They
how
have
Santa
these
Claus.
big messes, and I thought it was the elf did it.
No.
No, it's the elf saw you do it.
Oh.
The elf knows.
Yeah.
He's going to tell Santa what
then
you've
he
done.
won't get
and you're
presents.
going to get
Yeah, but
mad at
Because
that.
it
but
does
that's
look all
cool.
right, but then there's always messes all over the place, even though it isn't the elf that did it. The kids didn't do it. I mean, the parents are doing it. But it's
The
still a
parents
mess.
aren't making
No,
messes, though, because they got to
Because
clean it
they're
up.
making the messes.
Nobody's making messes.
No one's making any
there
messes.
is messes.
Where? At Angela's house?
Yeah.
Well, that's because
Messes?
They get up in the morning.
they got a
and
humongous
it's
dog
like-
and
No. There's like sugar all over the place and everything, and there's the elf.
Okay, that might be.
Maybe Angela didn't read
That's
the
Ange.
instructions.
Maybe
That's
because-
Ange maybe trying to create this
the elf that made the mess.
yeah,
Not
this
that-
elf has this
Oh.
life of his own. But the intended use of the elf is as a snitch, and that's why we can't support this shit. Our kids aren't gonna look. I'm gonna tell my kids, hey, snitches get stitches. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I find it's bad because now
Don't rat
the
on
kids
your
ain't gonna.
friends.
The kids didn't do it.
No, but what I'm saying is you got somebody spying on your kids. Now, you don't need an elf there.
Yeah, this teaches
Santa's
them
supposed
that
to know
like
everything.
Okay.
NSA spying is okay. I don't want to teach my kids to accept that
But
shit.
there is still misses.
Wait. Look at that.
So there's still messes.
No,
So
there's
they
no
have-
mess.
I'm telling you, even
Okay,
even a
so-
friend of Angela's, there's a mess in the there's a mess in the kitchen. And
Who's
it's
doing it?
The elf.
The fat fucking elf. I swear to God, that elf.
I mean, it isn't
The elf did it?
but
The elf
that's what
did
it
it.
is. The elf. Look at
The elf did it.
head. It's like, uh-oh.
I think in hindsight, I think we're going to look back on this moment as this was the moment that the podcast went off the rails. This is when the alcohol started kicking in for everybody. This is when shit went off the rails. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
That
Yeah, so
goddamn elf. Are you sure he did that?
not only is he a snitch, but
Yeah,
he's
I
a
think you
messy
better.
son of a bitch,
Call
too.
Angela.
That's, yeah, get
Call
pipe
her right
her.
now.
Get her on the
Call
phone.
her.
Get her
Call
on the phone.
Get her.
I think the elf obviously is a snitch, and he did not learn the two most important lessons from Goodfellas. Remember that scene? You watched Goodfellas the other day. Remember that
did.
scene? It was near the beginning. Ray Liotta's character was still the young version, and he got arrested for the first time selling those cigarettes outside.
Yeah.
And they arrested him, and Robert De Niro slides the money in his pocket, and he says, "This is your graduation present." He said, "What do you guys? I thought you guys were going to be mad at me." He said, "No, we're mad. No, we're not mad at all. You learned the two most important lessons in
Not
life.
to
One,
snitch.
is never rat on your friends. Two, always keep your fucking mouth shut."
Yeah.
Never. I love Robert De Niro delivering those lines. He says, "Never rat on your friends. Always
Just
keep your
call
fucking
him
mouth
on.
shut. Always keep your fucking mouth shut." I love that movie. I could watch that movie over and over again
I know.
because Robert De Niro's
It's a good
delivery of
movie.
those lines. Yeah, you learn the two most important lessons in life. Never rat on your friends and always keep your fucking mouth shut. That elf should not be ratting.
Angela?
Yeah?
So hold the phone a little closer to the mic so
What
we
are
can
you
hear
doing?
Angela. Hey, Angela.
Pick up Owen. I gotta drive.
Angela.
Hi, Owen.
Hey,
Angela.
Angela, you're on a podcast.
I'm on a podcast?
You're on a
Yep.
podcast. Hold it so that the
Oh my
speaker on the bottom here is towards the mic.
Okay.
So hold it flat.
Angela,
What?
isn't when the wait a minute.
Okay,
Oh, yeah,
I'm
turn that
gonna go.
volume.
I have to drive home in the snow, so
See,
No,
no kidding.
please.
am I gonna stay on a podcast?
Yep.
Just for a minute, just for a minute.
Okay, this
Solve
I
the
want to
dispute.
ask you about the elf. The elf on the shelf. Doesn't he make the mess at Christmas time?
Yeah.
He makes a mess. Why does he make a mess? What's the mess about?
Because Jason
Why
and
are we talking about that?
well, because
I don't know,
Jason-
look.
Because Jason and Dan and Chrissy are saying that it's the elf that does not make the mess.
No, the elf is a snitch, right?
Is a snitch.
The elf is a snitch,
The elf makes a mess and then hides.
but he's also a snitch, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a rotten snitch bastard.
Right. Yeah.
But
And then it goes
he's-
back to
But he's the one
Santa
that.
and reports as to how the children are doing.
Yeah. That's called a snitch. Where I'm from,
Yeah.
but
that's
the
called a
elf-
snitch.
But the elf makes the mess.
Right.
Yes.
Why does he make a mess?
Yeah.
Why doesn't he
make
want
a
to?
mess?
Shouldn't
Because
he?
he's a stupid elf.
See? See?
So he's not
Don't
even a.
make messes.
Is he not even a good snitch? Does he get the details wrong sometimes? Does he?
No, I don't think so. He's pretty accurate.
Oh yeah, but he's a doofus in the kitchen. Like he makes a mess while he's trying to snitch. Why does he get into the sugar in the first place? What's he doing with the flour? He's not baking cookies. He's supposed to be spying on these kids.
Oh my god.
I mean, like, what is he
You
doing?
wanna hear,
Look,
Jason.
what is he doing? Is he looking through my kitchen for cocaine or something? He's like snorting the
He's
flour,
making
hoping
fun
it's.
for little children and hoping that they giggle in the morning.
I see. So
Yeah.
it's really about creating this creating this image that this elf has this like life and that he makes a mess.
Yeah. Is this what you people are like
That's what
talking
we-
about?
That's
on
what
Saturday
that,
night?
that's what we're doing right now.
And
Yeah.
actually, what we're
Really
doing is
mulling things over?
No,
We're-
we're making a podcast.
we're recording a podcast, and we decided.
Not really.
Yes, we
yeah,
are.
yeah, you're being
About
recorded.
Elf on a Shelf?
I mean,
Oh, well,
look,
among
the
other
whole
things.
thing's not about Elf on the Shelf. We talk
Yeah.
about other stuff.
Yeah,
but
my prostate we talked about.
we did. We talked about his prostate for a while.
There.
So you're like taking parent testimonials?
Yeah, we talked about Christina's boob sweat too. That was
Excellent. Wow.
that was
What
com-
a variety.
that was really that was really comfortable. But we're trying to see how much beer Earl and I can drink in the course of like a 1 hour podcast. We're thinking, okay,
Well, that's pretty evident.
let's podcast let's podcast for an hour and then let's see how drunk we can get. I mean, like, look, hey, earmuffs, Owen, don't be like
no,
us.
earmuffs, no, don't.
Earmuffs, but look, we're just, we're gonna see how lit we can get. Naturally, when you're trying to get lit on a podcast, you're gonna start talking about Elf on the Shelf, right? I mean, it's only natural. Elf on the Shelf is gonna come up, and then you're gonna talk about him making crazy messes out of the flour and the sugar in the kitchen or some shit. I don't know. I thought Joanne was hallucinating the whole thing.
Right.
Apparently not.
No, it's real. It's legit. All right.
She's driving.
All right,
Okay.
drive safe.
No, it's not.
Thank you, Ange.
Thank you.
That was
That was a guest appearance
That's
by
what I was
Ed.
just-
yeah. We got the whole family.
Got
in.
the whole family
This is
now.
Oh, we
excellent.
gotta call PJ.
Yeah, let's call PJ shit. Let's call Elliot. Let's call Cameron. Let's call my mom. Let's call my dad. Get them in. My mom is gonna hate
We
this
should do
podcast.
that sometime. Have a joint.
There would be no. Why not? I mean, every Saturday and Sunday, I'm happy to record some shit. This has been pretty good so
Have
far.
a nice
First,
round table.
Yeah.
few minutes, maybe, But I think once we got into it,
How long has
good.
it been?
Fun.
I have no idea.
Well, that's all length. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know either. Shit if I know. I know that we started. I remember looking at the clock when it was about 6. So we've been going for at least 35 minutes. But
That's it?
I think we
Maybe a little
started
longer.
before 6.
I think we started a little bit before 6. But
So she has snow?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Not bad. But
I
it's
think it's
covering-
snow in July, right?
It's covering the roads and it's a little slick.
Okay, well, I'm glad she answered. I feel like she provided the clarity that we needed on the elf
No,
on
I
the
think
shelf.
Yeah.
I think she's full of
then-
shit. I really don't think that's what the elf is for.
Well, it might.
I
Are
don't
we
think
talking about
for or not
specifically the elf
for.
on a shelf,
But he
or
really does do that because I've seen messes in her house. She's talked about her.
Because
friends
she does
having-
it.
No,
You're
no,
in the
no,
lead,
no,
I
no,
gotta
no,
pee.
no, no. They make little messes
happens
so
when
that
you
when they
drink
get
too
up
much
and there's
and
the
you
elf.
No, oh, I know that, but
Okay,
I-
and no,
I-
it's the elf that does.
I
it.
always thought that, okay, the elf is there, he's watching you,
No.
whatever. Now tomorrow he's gonna be someplace else watching
Well, that
you.
no, yeah, it's true. He does do that, but they also he makes a little mess. You know, they might have.
I think that's
other-
Angela's.
No, Kelly does
extrapolation
it too.
of
Yeah,
it.
no, Kelly does the same thing. So
Really?
that's what they. Yeah. Yep. Oh, and I just think.
What is that?
What's
I
what?
just find the whole thing.
Well, you
annoying.
hear it.
On my bun.
Yeah, yeah.
Jason likes it like this.
Well, the headphones accentuate
Oh,
it.
does it?
Yeah, it's like a little headband. Oh, like earmuffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look good with headphones. Maybe you should go into the radio industry.
Yeah, maybe.
Would you be a good disc jockey?
Probably not.
Or what kind of music would you play?
I don't know.
Well, you got to be quicker than that if you're going to be on the radio.
Well, that's why I'm not going to be on the radio.
Why? See, I come up with nice
No,
stuff,
you don't.
and
You
I.
bring some great material and you keep it shot down.
It's just,
I want pizza.
Chinese and pizza in one freaking day. I'm telling you what.
I know. We
You
should
need
be
to be drinking.
dietitians.
Yeah, you know what? The Academy is going to take our shit away. If they could hear us right now, they're going to take our shit away.
It'd be great if we could get a guest appearance from Sadie.
Yeah, you know what? I think he is one character that I don't necessarily need on a podcast just because.
Really?
Well, he doesn't speak English. He's a cat.
No, but
and
you
then,
have some good background noise.
like, look, if he meowed on the podcast, that'd be
Yeah.
fine. It'd be cute. At least as far as we're concerned, it'd be cute. But like him jumping up on the table, knocking stuff over, start knocking in the mic and stuff. You know what I mean? He's a good boy. He's a good boy.
Yeah, and we learned the new disciplinary techniques.
Oh my God, we're gonna talk about
Yeah.
cats now. This is
Yeah.
the best podcast ever. Yeah. So, but
We learned some incredible
it was very helpful what we learned.
parental,
Yeah.
fur baby parental techniques.
Yeah. So apparently, shaking a Coke can, you put pennies into a Coke can, and you shake it when he's about to do something. They don't like that sound apparently, according to the internet.
They don't like the loud.
We could
Yeah,
do that
it's
when it
loud,
draws
it's
the
jarring.
Now,
furniture.
could I,
Yeah.
I just want to bring up one point. When you have a baby, these things don't apply to them. I'm sorry. When the kid starts crying, you don't go into the other room and leave it there.
Yeah, you
and you
don't.
don't shake a can when the
No.
kid.
I was gonna say,
That
what
makes
about
the
the
baby
squirt
cry.
bottle? What about
Yeah,
the squirt?
that
can I
might
hit him?
work, yeah,
Can I
might
just
work.
squirt him? Squirt him? Stop crying! Stop crying! Stop crying! Yeah.
But no, we found some good.
Yeah, it was
techniques. That
amazing
was- it
because.
was-
Oh, excuse
I
me.
think when we actually have a baby, I'm just gonna pay a Guatemalan nanny. I think we
That's
just
true.
get it. Just hire a Guatemalan nanny. To
and even
take
very
care of it.
consistent with the
The
with
nationality.
with the nationality.
Yeah,
of the
absolutely.
nanny.
Absolutely.
You've never
It-
swayed.
the nanny must be Guatemalan. I will not accept a nanny from any other nationality. Must
Why
be
is
Guatemalan.
that?
I don't know. It just sounds. I think it sounds better than Chinese nanny. What are they gonna do? Teach them kung fu? I don't know. I mean, come on.
I'd rather Scottish nanny.
Scottish nanny.
Why?
They're gonna feed the kid.
I like their accent.
Yeah, but they're also gonna feed the kid whiskey to put him to bed every time.
What?
They're gonna feed the kid whiskey to put him to bed every time.
What's
They're
wrong
gonna be
with
like,
that?
I don't know. Do
The
you want to
old
have an
days, they used to
alcoholic
put
8-year-old?
whiskey when the kid was teething.
Teething on the
We
gums.
tried,
yeah.
it didn't work though.
Yeah, because you drank all the whiskey. I mean, it's supposed
That
to go in the
explains
baby's
Christina's
mouth,
current
not
state.
yours.
Well, actually, that would be a good way
I'm
to
gonna
cope,
be-
though, right?
She's going to be yelling at me tomorrow. The way I'm acting tonight.
No.
Yes,
not yet,
yes.
Not yet.
She's gonna yell at you tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's just going to be something.
Do we want to talk about it?
Oh yes, I can tell by your face. You're giving me daggers.
No, I'm not.
See, right there. Look at it. Looks like Han Solo.
shush.
I got you into trouble by making you drink
God
during the
damn it, yes.
podcast. God
you
damn
will
it.
pay.
I thought, it'd be fun if we just recorded an hour of us drinking
Yeah.
beer and let's see how things go,
So
right?
does that mean after the hour it's coffee?
Oh yeah, we're gonna order pizza and brew coffee.
Oh,
We're gonna do 100 jumping jacks.
Fuck that.
Yeah, actually, fuck that. I got a second
I didn't
barrel.
drink all this to just go then
Well,
down. You stay up
yeah.
and
That's the thing, though. Is like
it's
once you
like
get that
you stay
buzz
on
going.
a mean.
Yeah, once you get that buzz going, it's like once you get locked into a serious drug collection, the tendency is to push it as far as you can. That's a movie quote. It's from a film. You are making all sort of noise over there. You know that shit's on the microphone is picking that up,
Oh, look at.
and no one can see that. What you're looking at right there, that audio track.
Look at it.
All right. Let's use our words, okay? King Kong over there. I really am gonna have to edit this shit. You're gonna make me edit this
You
shit.
can't edit this out. This is
I can edit this.
beautiful. But this is beautiful.
This is
Just let him
beautiful?
go. Just let him go.
Just let him go. I would prefer he uses words.
Why? This is fun though.
Words.
But after so many beers,
How many has
The
it been? How many is
language-
this?
Huh?
How many is this?
I don't count.
Well, that's why I'm putting mine down on the floor like that. A, because you can hear the can hitting the floor.
we should have one of your Trilliums.
Ooh, I have
what is
Trillium.
that?
For all
One
you
of those
folks
Trillium
in New
beers.
England, I have Trillium beers. That is some good shit right there.
Trillium?
Yeah.
Never heard.
Trillium. Trillium's in they're in Boston. Every time we go into Boston, I
we
like to
say
stop
can
by.
we have one of every beer?
Yeah.
Or did we get two of every beer?
Well, the one time we got two of every beer because we knew we wanted to share some with Cameron.
Oh, really?
So yeah, that was
Oh.
the time where we spent $140 at Trillium.
But then we also got two T-shirts, right?
We did. We got 2 T-shirts for Christmas, and we got a whole bunch of Trillium beers. I
How'd
just
you
said,
get
give me
him
2
down
of
there?
everything. Yeah.
How'd you get him down to Georgia?
You don't remember this?
No.
I took this Keebler box, and my brother actually believed that I brought a box of friggin' cheese crackers. I took this Keebler cheese cracker box, one of the big ones you get at Costco or whatever. They had them at work. And so I took the box, I just wrapped each beer up with a little sheet of tissue paper, stuffed it in the box, filled the box up with beers, taped it shut with packing tape, put it in one of my carry-ons, stuffed my underwear and socks and stuff around it in the carry-on,
yeah.
zipped that shit up, not carry-on, checked luggage, checked that shit, boom.
Yeah, you can
Checked
do
it.
that. That's
Nothing
not-
Shipped it
happened to
right
it?
down.
Nothing broke?
Nothing. Well, it was all cans. So I didn't do any
Oh,
bottles
okay,
because I was a little concerned, like, okay, glass
The
breaks.
pressure.
Yeah.
But cans will bend and bow. So I didn't want to do any bottles. But the cans were all fine. The beer was delicious. We flew all this New England beer. Great New England beers. I had Clown Shoes. I had Lord Hobo. I had Stoneface. I had a bunch of Trillium. Because I knew Cameron, you can't get that shit down there in Georgia and Atlanta. In Atlanta, you can't get these delicious New England beers, and I wanted to share them with Cameron. So I brought, I think it was 16. I fit in that box. I fit 16
Wow.
big pint cans of beer. They were the big pint cans of beer. And I gave Cameron, we gave Cameron and Kelly for Christmas a flight of
was really
flight
cute.
glasses. It was 4 glasses because there were 4 of us. It was perfect.
Yep.
And it was made out of a wine stave. It was like cut from a oak
Okay.
barrel that they age wine in.
Yep.
And so it was curved and it was just beautiful. And they drilled holes in it to put the glasses in. So I have photos. I actually have photos on Instagram of.
Yeah.
I found it online. I ordered it and had it sent down
We
there.
could make that, you know.
You
If
could
you,
make
if you
that.
want to make one for your house,
We
Yeah.
should.
get,
We should.
get us a good
That'd be
piece of
actually
wood,
really
like
cool.
driftwood or something. Like,
Yeah.
Driftwood
you know,
would be very cool.
Driftwood would be cool.
You know, because you could make, you know, you just need the bit, and you could stain it, do whatever you want.
Yeah,
with it.
this
You
one
could
was
do
it was raw. I mean, it didn't even look like they'd stained it. It looked like they just cut it right out of the oak barrel. It was really classy looking shit though. I mean, it's like
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
really
did.
liked it.
yeah, and even though he's a brewer, and he brews his own home brew, and he works for a brewing company
He
down
does
there.
make his own still?
Oh yeah, he still
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
his own home brew. That's how he keeps his skills sharp.
Oh, okay.
So he does brew professionally, but he loves it so much. He's so passionate that he does take his work home with him. He brews on the weekend, and he's got a kegerator. He kegs his own. He kegs his own beer.
Does he?
It's a wonderful setup he's got. And his beer is delicious. I mean, he's been doing it so long now that he's become very, very good. I mean, he really does know what he's doing. So his last several brews have been very remarkable.
yes.
They've been delicious. And he brews for Orpheus. Their shit is amazing too. I love Orpheus. If you're in Atlanta, go drink some goddamn Orpheus. That shit is
Get
fire.
his recipe. Can't you get his recipe?
I mean, I'm sure he could share some recipes with us. He makes all sort of different kinds of
I know
beers.
that, but he does the regular ingredients.
Yeah, so he doesn't do extracts like we do.
That's what I mean, yeah,
he
he does it
makes
from
his own.
scratch,
He makes his own mash. He does, he doesn't just go straight to wort, right? So he's got to take all of the grains that he's going to use, hops, everything is all raw stuff. He gets it. He spends the day. He really does spend a whole day working on it.
And that's got to be
impressive.
the difference in the taste too.
I think so. Yeah. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
obviously, just like with cooking, if you have good ingredients,
Oh, yeah.
it's going to make a delicious meal.
Yes.
And if you're using shit ass out of a can, it's not going to be as delicious of a
Right.
meal. If you've got Angus beef, if you've got Wagyu from Kobe steak or something like that, you don't have to be an expert. If you're starting with something that's like primo shit, it's going to taste delicious.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's kind of the thing too. And then he has developed. He's been brewing for many years now, so he's developed an expertise at it.
Oh God, yeah.
His stuff is delicious, but that's how we managed to get all that beer down there at Christmas time, because I did want to share beer with him. I wanted to be able to enjoy some of these beers together, and I didn't know when he was going to come back up here to visit.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to come up here this year or whatever, but
Yeah.
so I thought, well,
Maybe not because they want to save for an engagement.
oh, you think you
Really?
should be saying that on a podcast that anybody can listen to? Like Kelly could listen to this shit, and you think,
She knows.
yeah, you think she knows?
She knows.
She knows.
She ain't
Well,
stupid.
she ain't don't. She ain't stupid. She wasn't born yesterday. No, she wasn't.
That'd be a wedding to go to.
Jesus, he'll probably brew his own shit for the wedding.
And maybe by me speaking about it on the podcast, it'll light the fire.
Light a fire under his ass.
Yeah.
All right, here we go with beer.
Anything to apply some pressure.
I think this is my
Love
5th.
about the
Earl said he
pressure.
wasn't keeping track. He's peed 8 times
Do you
during
know
this
he
damn
has a
podcast.
little? He has a
Yeah,
little.
you told me.
Yeah, you can feel it right here.
When are you gonna take them?
It's gonna be in March.
It's in March, but let's do.
Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, let's. I love our cat, but we probably should talk about things that are more.
Nice. No
germane to
claws.
entertainment.
No claws.
He's our baby. Though.
He is our baby, and he's
There's no
biting
way
the
Sa-
shit out of your mom
Yeah,
right now.
There's no way Sate's not gonna make it into the podcast.
I know, but like talking about his skin things, you know what I mean?
I feel like that's been aligned with
Do the one.
other medical discussions. He has a skin disease.
Yeah, but it's not a
that
look.
what
If
it
we're
is?
talking about getting in the cat's
you take
ass, then
him?
that's kind of
we
amusing.
haven't,
Ready?
we haven't taken him yet.
No, we haven't.
I think it's I suspect it's like an allergy or something.
Oh, you think so?
Maybe something he's eating or
Let's not do
something.
skin. Let's do material. Attaboy. Good job.
You just let him bite the shit out of
We
you.
don't want Sate to be a part of the podcast.
Of course, I want Sade to be a part of the podcast. At the same time, his contributions are going to be. Ooh, that was bound to happen at some point. His contributions are bound to be a little bit different since he doesn't speak English. He doesn't speak at all. The concept of a microphone pretty foreign to him. So he's just my cat is just biting the shit out of my mother-in-law. It's cool. You know, they were playing. I'm pretty sure.
She asked for it.
She was definitely asking for it. Come on, she was asking for that shit. Come on, please. She was asking. She asked for that shit. So I think this is beer. I think I was trying to account for my beers because Earl doesn't remember. Oh Lord. That was bound to happen too. Good thing we got Mike. So for anyone listening, that beer just got all over the mic. That must be why they don't open beers in front of microphones a lot. So we'll just edit that little spot out.
Find the sound effects interesting.
Yeah, I mean certainly like the beer, the cans of beer opening. How many is that, Earl? You said you weren't counting. I think I've had the Sam, the Brown, 2 Baxters. This is number 5. So I'm cracking beer 5. I don't know how long we've been
Dad's
going.
probably had a couple more than
we're
you.
approaching an hour. We're definitely approaching an hour. It's probably
Why is it so slow?
you know what? It slowed down. It's probably because you poured beer on it. I don't know.
No.
So
I'll
maybe
buy you another one.
That's okay. Don't worry
Oh,
about
there
it.
it goes. Whoa.
That's pretty fast.
I guess there's still a lot for us to learn about this.
I think there's a lot for us to learn about this. Wow, that Sam Adams is tasting crazy. I don't mind it going a little slow though. It's it's time to mellow out a little bit. We've been drinking beer here on the air for an hour.
sounds not.
It tastes good.
That's just a Sam Adams Boston Lager.
I know,
That
it
is
tastes good.
very pedestrian, but it is good. It's good.
Very pedestrian.
Well, I think it's
Look,
because of that.
I'm a snob. I'm a beer snob. I gotta sound like I'm cool.
And you got beer in your mustache.
I can't sit here and pretend like Sam Adams is the shit. You know what I mean?
But it's still tasty though.
They won't let me back into Trillium.
It's not as hoppy as some
No,
of
it's
your
not
beers,
nearly as hoppy.
Which I think I like. Mom, do you feel his belly?
No, I didn't. He's
Why?
not-
Because he bite the shit out of you if you
I know,
try.
he's not in the mood.
No, he is not in the mood to let you feel his belly. Well,
Moment of silence.
yep, that usually means it's time to call it.
That was exciting.
I got 5 beers in. Earl, you had to have at least 5 beers. You had a couple of those Hell's Lagers
Yep.
beforehand. You've drank at least 3 Bud Lights since we started.
I'm about a third of a bottle.
There you go.
Yeah, Chrissy over
Probably
here was
more. It's probably
working on a bottle of Pinot Noir.
It's probably more. It's hard to tell because the
knows?
wine probably went up to like here. It probably went up to here, but then this is skinnier, so it's not a half a bottle.
No, it's certainly not the half a bottle yet, but you know
Yeah.
what? We'll keep working. The night is still young. Keep working on
I
it.
can do it.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Post flu.
Yeah, you shouldn't even be drinking this shit right now.
Well, I think we should pause for like 2 hours, keep drinking, then come back on.
Okay, so you want to do like a part 2,
Part 2.
where we come back and we're just.
Dad, that's awesome.
I was actually thinking something similar. That I'm not going to take credit for the idea, Earl. That was a good idea.
That was
Let's
a
do
really good idea.
that. So let's we'll
Freaking love that idea.
we'll call this a break. We'll call it a break.
Yeah.
We'll hit pause. This is
So
where you're going to hear the commercials.
Because I want to watch some figure skating.
Oh,
And I want
fucking
pizza.
figure skating.
Mom
And
wants
Joanne wants
pizza.
pizza. She's gonna murder us all if we don't get pizza. Chinese and pizza in one day. We got pepper steak to warm back up. We got pork
yeah.
fried
She
rice.
got-
I don't
Not
want,
the
yeah,
pizza.
yeah. I don't want
Pizza
any more
sounds
rice.
good.
Okay, well, shit, we must be drunk because we're gonna go straight from Chinese to pizza, and we're gonna call ourselves dietitians in the morning. I cannot believe this shit.
And me a diabetic, and you a diabetic.
And I'm a diabetic too. I'm an awesome diabetic.
Yeah.
I'm a great diabetic. I feel so good about this.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, pause.